What is going on, everyone? AP over here at Rumpier Sports, bringing to you an early edition of the Strokes Gain Show. I'm not sipping on whiskey, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit different today. I still feel like we're going to pick the winners, though. So coming off it doesn't feel like we should be doing the show yesterday with Cam Smith winning, today with Cam Smith winning yesterday, and with the players. Ending kind of how it did. For me, it wasn't a good week. I had the bad weather draw. I had Brooks Koepka who missed the cut, and Tony has to come on the show just to troll me. I know he wants to troll Snyder too, because he just absolutely owned his boy Morikawa, who is in the field this week. Let me bring in my two guys. We got Hoop. We got Big T. Let's start with this. Let's just get it out of the way. I like ripping off the Band-Aid. Let's bring in the special guests. Mr. Big T, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, boys? Yeah, I can't take any victory laps this week, though. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make fun of you. I had too bad of a week. I was on a lot of the PM guys, too. Bad week for me. I don't take victory laps when I get waxed. I did win a lot of Snyder bucks because he gave me the field versus Brooks. I said, give me all the 7K guys versus Brooks. They all wiped his ass because he finished DFL. But I can't victory lap because I lost a chunk of giblets this week on the PM guys. I think I probably only got, 20% back tops, maybe not even 20% back. So bad week for me. And I'm on with the Tuesday crew to change the momentum. When we ship this week, we might just leave Uncle T, Snyder, Tambo on the Wednesday forever. I might join the winning crew on Tuesdays. I've been known to jump ship. I'll jump on with you guys if we get it done this week.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think we're going to get it done too. So, Hoopster, what's going on, my man? Hopefully you had a better week than Big T and I.
I wish I could say I did. In the same boat as you guys. It was a tough one. I mean, I think the approach was right. I mean, if we could run it back again this week, I'd probably do the exact same thing. It was just a fluky situation, and there's nothing you can do about the weather. And as soon as those guys didn't get back out on that course really all that much on Friday, it was fucked. I mean, the edge was screwed. But it was the right play. I mean, to me, I still look at it, and it's like 75% chance the guys that we were on the favorable weather draw going into the week. There's nothing you can do. They didn't have enough time on Friday to play, and that was the big difference maker. And you saw what happened when those guys teed off Saturday morning. I think the guys that were on 17 were all, I mean, it was all my key guys, Scheffler, Brooks, Xander, and I think they all hit it in the water. I think Scheffler hit it in there twice. There's literally nothing you can do. I know people are on there bitching to the PGA about it, but there's nothing they can do either. Like, they got to get this thing in. They got to have these guys play. I know the wind was absolutely egregious, and whoever went out there and played in those conditions was likely done. And that's exactly what happened. Morikawa, Brooks, Scheffler, Xander, all done because of the weather and nothing else. I mean, they were playing solid in the first round. Or on Friday, whatever day they started, just nothing you can do. You move on, and it's daily fantasy. It sucks, but we got another week, another tournament, and like I said, if I could run it back again, I'd do the exact same thing. I'm kind of curious, Tony. I know you were heavy on that wave. I mean, would you do the same thing?
I was going to just compound on what you were saying. And so people were like victory lapping too. Some people like,
yeah, that was a tough
this
scene.
Is why you don't stack this and that. And I agree with Hoop that if anything, it proves our point. We lost because we lost the flip, or even if we thought we were a little favorite, we lost the draw flip, but it proves that stacking the side is the correct move in that spot. If you somehow stacked the AM, you would have won a freaking fortune. You would have won so much money no matter who you played on that side of the draw. So it proves that we were right. Yeah, we were wrong because we didn't win the draw. Like Hoop said, when they don't go back out on Friday and they come out Saturday and we know there's not going to be a delay and they're going to have to play in the wind all day, we know we're dead. We're stone dead come Saturday. We're just hoping somehow to get a lucky draw through, which I had a few lucky ones get through. But still, when you're that big of a disadvantage, I mean, JT played his ass off that day and he still couldn't get there. So I don't know. I think we did it right. Again, I wouldn't change anything, but it did hurt to just might have been my worst week ever of PGA, honestly, because I got waxed. Even in
It was
Showdown,
mine,
I got
yeah.
waxed. Yesterday, I took Rom again. He takes a 9. Rom's killing me. I can't wait to talk
Yeah.
about the next event he plays because he has really hurt me this year.
He's been hurtful. I got to make a comment on one thing. Like I saw these guys on Twitter. No need to name names, just bitching, crying like that day. Like PGA Tour, shut it down.
Yeah.
This isn't golf. This is
Yeah.
one thing that you're not going to see is us bitch about it. Like we all got dusted. It was not a good week for any of us. None of us were crying on Twitter. Like,
No.
We knew
What do they want him to do? Not play
Right.
golf? It rained for 2 straight days, and you get a day without rain. You want him to shut it down the third day?
I was rooting for golf because I was bored. I wanted to watch it. I knew my guys had the bad drop.
And have they never watched the old British Open and now the Open or whatever they call it now? Like it happens once every 3 years over there. A draw dominates the other draw. This is why we talk about stacking the draw. Stop being a baby. What does Tambo always say? Winners win, losers make excuses, work harder, all that stuff. We're taking our L's. Stop whining. Well, we lost just like whoever that was whining lost. Is what it is.
Yeah.
We move on.
We move on. Speaking of moving on, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right there, the red button, right-hand corner. Go ahead, hit that real quick. We are still running our promo. So we just, got lazy, forgot to turn it off. So players 33% off your first payment over here at Rumpier Sports. SaberSim packages are included with that. So we might just randomly shut it off whenever. So make sure go and get that now. If you ask for it, we're not going to give it to you. So again, players 33, it's going to get you 33% off your first payment over here. All right, we are at the Valspar Championship. We had, and by no surprise, there's been a lot of guys that have withdrawn already. Paul Casey, 2-time winner here, withdrew. Doug Gim. Good call again on Gim, Big T. But
that was my one decent call of the week. I didn't have any other ones.
Like a donkey, I played him in Showdown round 4, and he just pissed down his leg again. Just a rough scene.
I knew we were in trouble when they showed his lifetime earnings were like $2 million and it was 3.8 for the winner. I knew it. You got to be a little nervous.
Yeah.
Sebastian Munoz, Neiman, Pendrith, Patrick Rogers, Snedeker, Matt McNeely, Cam Young, Kevin Tway. Bunch of guys have withdrawn. It's going to bring different guys in. Bronson Burgoon, David Lipsky, a few others have been added to the field. Usually we have Snyder doing a breakdown of the course. I'll go ahead and tackle that. We'll keep it nice and simple. This is a second shot track. I mean, look, like Paul Casey, 2-time winner. You know what kind of golfer that you want to target if Paul Casey's winning here twice. You want to find fairways. You want to hit greens regulations, and you want to make a few putts. You want to avoid bogeys and make a couple birdies. I think it's a very, very tough course. One of the toughest scoring on the PGA Tour. So keep that in mind this week. Also, something to think about. Like you have guys that played in the Players all 4 rounds. Like a guy like Morikawa. Actually, he missed the cut, didn't he? JT, Dustin Johnson. Like they're probably missing out on a practice day. So many different things to think about. Hoop, do you have any comments just on the event this week, course this week? What approach are you taking?
Yeah, it's a tough track. I mean, I think it's 5th or 6th toughest course on tour. There is a lot of water, but the water really doesn't come into play all that much. I mean, I don't know what the exact number is, but nothing like last week with all the water. Like you'll see it, but it's not really. Guys aren't really in danger of hitting it into the water all that often. But yeah, it's a second shot. I mean, you look at the field and you can tell what type of course this is going to be. You got the Louis here, you got, Lowry, you got Abe Answer here, Matthew Fitzpatrick. Like it's a course. Yeah. Second shot course. So, it's a difficult track. And, honestly, I kind of just lump certain courses into different categories. And this is one where I'm going to use the guys that I think play good on difficult courses. And I'm going to keep it simple like that. And like you said, though, I am definitely taking into consideration the guys that grinded out all 4 rounds last week, because it wasn't just like a 4-round course. I mean, they had the weather, then they had to play in the wind, then they had to go back to not playing in the wind. I think I am going to factor that in this week. The guys maybe a slight bump to those guys that went all 4 rounds last week.
Speaking of that, I got one like Dustin Johnson. I locked him on round 3 and just like he dusted me, and then he comes out round 4 and like, oh, walk off eagle. Just God, that's just so hurtful.
I did the exact same thing too. I pounded him Saturday. And I was so mad at myself for locking him Saturday that I was like, I can't play this freaking guy again. And then Sunday he does good. He sucks at that course though. Remind me next year for the players. No matter what, I'm not playing Dustin for the week. He's never top 10 there. Like, I'm just not doing it. I got to remember though.
He never top 10 until this week.
Did he slide in the top 10? I didn't see him in the very end. Where did he finish?
9th.
Yeah.
One other thing to note before we dive into the player tiers, we might have some weather this week. If what I'm looking at is
oh, come on.
I know.
Man.
I mean,
give us a nice clean week. I don't even want to think about it.
Well, wind on Friday, they're showing projected. So it's like Thursday is going to be fine, like nothing at all. And then Friday morning looks good. We got projected 12-mile-an-hour sustained with 23 potential gusts. So, I mean, add that onto a hard course. And then on Saturday in the afternoon, you're talking rain and wind again. So more weather potentially in Florida. That's what you're going to get this time of the year, it seems like. So fun that they moved all these events up. All right, yeah, let's dive in. So we're going to go tier by tier. That's how we always do it. I'm going to start with our guest this week, Mr. Big T. Let's start with that 10K and up range, starting with DJ all the way up to JT. What are you doing with these guys this week?
Yeah, it's an interesting range just because I thought the field was going to be weaker, honestly, coming off. I don't know if maybe a few others will withdraw still or something, but I felt like a few of these guys that battled all weekend would maybe withdraw like Casey did. But assuming everyone stays in, for me, it's going to be JT again. He looked good last week. He finished 33rd, but that's extremely deceiving because of how good he played Saturday to stay in there. He just looks good to me. Missed some putts. I like him. We didn't talk about it, but how crazy was that Hovland calling out Berger on that drop? And you don't see that hardly, huh?
And Berger was right.
Yeah, it was close. Like, we couldn't see the depth perception.
I don't think either one of them was definitively right, which made it even crazier that they were like all over each other like that. Two big dudes, but I don't know. I can't play Hovland over JT though. I don't think. Morikawa. God, I know he was on the tough draw, but he hurt my feelings last week a little bit. Xander kind of struggled last week too. I know they were on the hard side, so it's tough to really weigh it too much, but I just like JT more than those guys at the top. So if I have to pick one, I'm going back with AP's boy, JT. My second guy, definitely not going to be DJ either, coming off last week. But I guess my second will be Hovland. I mean, I think he's playing better than the other two guys right there. Xander looks a little rough to me recently. So, yeah, give me JT and Hovland. The dude's all the way at the very top.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I can call him my boy. I forget who I was
talking to. Get off of him?
No, I'm saying I haven't played him enough when he does good. It's like I play him when he does shitty. I don't get it. I almost always have him in my player pool, but I mean, he's playing good golf right now. So I agree with a lot of your takes there. Hoop, 10K and up range. What are you doing with these guys?
Yeah, I agree with the DJ thing. Like, I'm not putting much stock into that 4th round. I mean, you go out there in good conditions and you get to fire at every single pin because you're not in contention. And a guy of DJ's caliber is obviously capable of, going out there and firing that low round when nothing's on the line. And to me, that's what happened this week. Outside of that, he did not look good. I mean, decent, but not like a top 5 golfer or whatever it is. So, no DJ for me. The rest of it's pretty tough. I mean, I'm a Xander guy, and he was I think he was 3 under before coming back out on Saturday. So he was playing pretty decent in that first round, and then came back Saturday with the wind and hitting I think he had to start on 17 and it just went, downhill from there. So I'm gonna give him the pass. I think he was playing pretty solid. The course sets up well for him. I agree with JT. I do like JT. I mean, to me, you look at the rest of the guys in this field, just solid all around. Obviously, he's one of the best golfers in the world. You get an event here where it does. I mean, it is a pretty nice field, but it does fall off pretty quickly. I think there is a big difference between all these guys, Xander and above, and then that next tier in the 9K range. I think all of these guys are substantially better. So I like JT. I like Xander, and then to me, it's like a decision between Morikawa and Hovland. I think you can get access to multiple guys up here. So I'm going to probably decide. I still have to decide between Hovland and Morikawa. Kind of leaning Morikawa now. But we'll see as the week goes on. But definitely no DJ for me. That's one thing I feel very confident about.
Yeah, for me, I am worried about like the guys that had to grind 4 rounds. Just a lot goes into it, and JT kind of looked like he had such a phenomenal round on in that wind. I mean, just incredible. Like his caddy, Bones, right? That's who caddies for him. I mean, he said it was like top 5 round he's ever seen, like ball striking. And he's seen
dudes were
golf.
shooting 80 and he shot 3 under. Like
so impressive.
Just
but then he kind of sucked after he wasn't good after that, which was kind of super annoying because I was high on him last week.
Didn't Bubba shoot 4 under though?
Yeah.
Was it?
Bubba, yeah.
Bubba was way more shocking too because Bubba hits it high too and flights it and like
crazy.
Man, he's not the top of my list of who I thought could crush in those conditions.
So yeah, like I am slightly worried about that. Like Collin Morikawa, good. Like this should be an ideal track for him. Just a guy that can find fairways, a very good iron player. Hopefully, can make some putts, and he's right up there in that range. I feel like ownership's going to spread out. It almost always does. I don't see any of these guys getting to be like at crazy levels. So it's going to be a fun week to make some stands. And I kind of agree with you guys. Like Xander, I'm not going to play here. Hovland, and it's starting to kill me. Like I don't play him enough, arguably, and he's like the one guy that could just come out and it seems like nothing really impacts him. Always has a smile on his face, even when he was like talking with Berger and like confronting him. Dude has a smile on his face, like,
and it was the most awkward conversation. He still wasn't rattled.
And then Joel Damon was in there too. Like Joel Damon definitely like. He was definitely on Hovland's side, but made it even more awkward. So I think for me in this range, it's Morikawa, it's JT, and then I just have to cut the rest, and I'm going to keep it very simple. And, because I do think there's going to be a lot of guys in the 6K range that surprise again this week, because I just think that fatigue is going to factor in. Big T, did you say what your overall favorite was in this range?
It's got to be. I when I first started talking, I think it was JT. But the more I look at Hovland, and he's got 4 top 10s his last 5 weeks, 3rd last year. I think I'm going to say Hovland actually over JT, but they're close. I mean, I think these guys are way better than the rest. I would rank it officially Hovland and then JT. The more I look at it.
Yeah, very good. Hoop, your give me your favorite overall, then take us down into that 9K range.
I do have to look at Hovland a little bit more because he's a guy I don't play enough of, and like
neither do I.
He just consistently finishes up top, and he has the winning upside too. I mean, he's got the combination. I'm going to look into him a little bit more, but yeah, as it stands now, it's going to be JT, and I do like Xander. So JT and Xander for me. The next range, it gets pretty.
We need to find out if AP's playing JT first, though, so I know if I should play him or not.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play him. I think I have to. Like,
does that mean we should just go Morikawa and Hovland instead? He gave that speech about he never crushes when you're on him. It's got me nervous.
I mean, I play him a lot, but it's like I don't like last week. I think I didn't have enough of him. So, but no, I think his game's just on another level right now. He's playing very good. We've seen it all year. It's very consistent. I expect him. I think he wants to get world number 1 back, and I think he wants to keep it.
Yeah.
9K range. I mean, to me, as we talked about in that top tier, like third to me is just such a drop off after going from that top tier down to this tier. I'm not a Louis Oosthuizen guy, right or wrong, whatever. I mean, it really hasn't burned me all that often. 9.9, I can't pay 9.9 for Louis. Hatton at 9.8. Shane Lowry at 9.7. Sam Burns, I mean, he was, I think, the first RPS golf guy. I mean, he was our dude when we started RPS. We were on Sam Burns every week. He was in that 7K range, got the job done for us. I know he won here last year, but his game's not the same at this point. Got the favorable draw last week and then just shit the bed round 4. I mean, pretty easy conditions. He goes out and fires a 76. Watching him, just the eye test, it seems like he's doing it a lot of it with the putter. When he has these good rounds, he's sinking like deep putts on a consistent basis. So likely be off him at 9.6. So more interested in this bottom tier of guys in this 9K range. I don't know what to do with Brooks. Curious to get your guys' take. I mean,
you know what to do with Brooks.
You don't want my take. Oh,
you definitely know what to do with Brooks.
I was
done with him until the majors. Big T's right. Done with him
God, he's a bad play this week. Oh, coming off that disaster.
He was fine though. I don't want to give him the excuse, but he was what?
He's probably going to withdraw anyways.
Yeah, but he was 2 under before coming out there in the monsoon with the.
He's got no heart, man. You can't play dudes with no heart.
Well, I know that's why I'm not.
Unless it's the U.S. Open, we'll play him in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, but now some guys I do like for sure. Answer at 9.3. I believe he's got really good course history here. The course sets up very well for him. I have interest in him at 9.3. My boy Kokrak at 9.2K. Grinded out for us last week. I can't remember what side of the draw he was on, but the
bad side.
He was on the bad side.
Yeah, he was my highest owned guy.
Yeah, so he was on the bad side and finished 53rd. Like that's actually a pretty good finish considering what he had to deal with. So I do like him. Not playing Fleetwood. I mean, he was 6 under on the good side of the draw and finished like 22nd. Like he was not impressive to me after that first round. Don't really like playing him. And then Fitzpatrick. Don't know what I'm going to do with Fitzpatrick, but for sure I like Answer and Kokrak, and most of them would fade that top range.
I think Tommy Fleetwood might be a worse play in this range than BK. I will say that.
He is. I'll agree with that. I would play Brooks over him.
He had the best draw. He had everything going for him. And after that phenomenal first round, he did nothing. Like, it was pathetic. Big T, 9K range. What are you doing with these guys?
This is the range to me that it's the overpriced range. Hoop kind of talked about it in the beginning too, where the top tier is priced accurately. I mean, that's where they're obviously always priced. The studs, 10, 11K. Makes sense. I look at this range and everyone looks overpriced to me. I mean, Lowry, we just got him last week at 8K or whatever it was. Granted, I know the field's not the same level, but strictly price tag, we're getting those studs in the 10Ks for accurate prices. Hoop made great points about this, and I just want to talk more about it. Like Lowry, 9,700. I can't pay that for him. I can't. I'll just pay another, even Xander, even though I don't, even DJ. I'm not playing DJ. He's 500 more than him. I just can't play Lowry, and I love Lowry. I just don't love him for 9,700. I don't love Hatton for 9,800. I don't love Louis for 99. Although I do like Louis more than Lowry and Hatton. But Burns, I'm not paying 96 for him. Koepka, I mean, we already know there's no way I'm playing him at this event, 9,400. Kokrak, he was my highest owned guy last week, but he was also 7,200 or something. He's 9,200. I can't freaking do it. And Fleetwood, you guys said it. Don't like him. Fitzy, I'm never playing Fitzy at an event like this either. I don't think he makes enough birdies. And I know it's a hard course. He grinds. I just don't like Fitzy for 9K. So I'm not going to play him. Really, for me, the only guy I even like a little is Answer at a course like this. My worry is he hasn't looked great to me the last stretch. When I watch him, he just doesn't look that in tuned. But if I had to pick a guy, he would be my guy because I hate this range, which makes me like – this is why I like doing these shows with Hoop and AP and the Wednesday crew, because I can kind of work through my thoughts to start the week. Makes it even nicer to do it on Tuesday. It makes me like that range above even more. Like Hoop was saying when he was on it, it's like if I can play 2 of those guys and none of the 9Ks, I think that's a good path for me, because just looking at the 8Ks too, I don't love that. I like that they're okay, but I might just go with the 2 stud approach on everything this week because I hate the 9Ks. I honestly do. Answer would be my number 1 though.
Yeah, I'm with you. Louis, it's tough for me. So this event, like a few of them, used to be played in May. Now it's being played much earlier. I don't necessarily know like how that impacts it. It has to be a little bit different, but I mean, Louis, like the course history here, 7th, 16th, 2nd, 8th, it's tough for me to fade that alone just because, like, man, there must be something here that clicks. But then when you look at what he's been doing recently for us, not as good. One top 15, no top 10s in his last 5 events. I'm really torn on what to do with him. Tyrell Hatton, like, you're banking on, like, sometimes this guy will show up and he can be such a wizard around the greens. He'll make a chip in, he'll make some long putts. But then at a course like this too, like when he's not good at hitting fairways, he can just go full blown tilt and just absolutely eject. So I'm probably going to be off of him. Sam Burns, he's shown signs of life, like T9 at API, and then obviously, held the lead at the Players. I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't think he's like, I don't think I have a good read on his ownership. 9.6. I feel like he wouldn't be very high on, but maybe I could be wrong. It's still pretty early because I'm kind of thinking what could happen is, like, Paul Casey's out now. That ownership could move towards him. Or Shane Lowry or below him to Abe Answer. So I'm torn on Sam Burns. I kind of like him, but I only want to play him if he's going to be lower owned. BK, I don't think this is going to be the course for him. He's not good at hitting fairways. His approach game isn't that good right now. I know. I was on.
Do you think our boy Snyder's got the cojones to come back and fire on some BK? This Snyder, you know the DM. Slide on in, big boy. You can run it back.
The answer is yes.
Let's go, Snyder. Let's run it back, big boy.
This just seems like one of those courses where it's like, man, he's struggling to find fairways, and he's not going to be able to power his way through it. So I think it's going to be a huge problem for him. I do like Abe Answer and Kokrak. So I think I'm aligned with you guys where I'm going to be under on the higher guys in this range and then get more exposure to the bottom parts of this range and Answer and Kokrak. And then Fleetwood, I'm not playing. And Fitzpatrick, again, I'm kind of torn on. Like, I played him last week at very high ownership, like a donkey. You got that call right, though, last week, right? Big team.
One of the things,
he's a bad play.
I haven't had like the best month of PGA. I've done decent until this week, but I've been right on these big fades where, like, every week I think my big fade has come through. Fitzy, if you told me Fitzy's 35% any week, like he was in the high milli maker, I mean, that's egregious for a guy like him.
Yeah, that was, and I was overweight on him. And
I think when people started talking about the weather edge and whatnot, I think that really boosted, because he had that early round 2 tee time where it seemed like he was going to, literally have the best tee time. So I think that really bumped his ownership for sure.
And he was so cheap too. Like, he was so cheap.
Yeah. The frustrating part with him, it's like, man, he just doesn't make birdies. Like, he doesn't make any birdies. It's so frustrating.
Even when he is in the tough ones, it's all pars.
Which that could be what you need here. I mean, tougher track.
Absolutely.
So, kind of torn on him. A long ways to go, obviously. Make sure to check the content and everything. Man, we got our boy Stevie Boyden in chat. Stevie's right here saying AP even did his hair for us today. What a guy. I mean, when don't I do my hair? That's a given. It's like brushing
Stevie's
your
incorrect
teeth.
There.
It's like wiping your ass after you take a
it's
shit.
Like me having a backwards hat. Stevie, do I got a backwards hat on today? Like, that's what I wear on shows.
That's my second favorite thing. If it's not the hair, it's a backwards hat. I love the people that will slide into chat, like, making fun of us for wearing backwards hat. It's just, it's hilarious. Happen all the time during NFL season.
How many beers do you think Stevie Boyden's going to have this weekend?
Man, I know. It's funny. He keeps on to challenge me, but I'm like, why would I go beer to beer with you if I was there? Like, I would not enjoy myself. Like, I'm not like 20 beers a day. Like, there's like very little that sounds fun about that.
Who could drink more beers, him or G Rising?
That's what I would want to see.
That would be a battle.
I want to see day 2 and day 3 though. G Rising, everyone talks about his day 1, but day 2 he pootered out.
Yeah.
He couldn't even play cornhole.
I think DC might own them all though. That might be my bet if we put
DC
those in there.
DC does put them down.
And DC sent me a message today, like, do you got running trails around and this? I said, do I look like I'm running on any damn trails?
Oh,
Send him
man.
through the neighborhood.
Oh, Title knows the running trails.
Yeah,
I
get with
remember that.
Title.
Yeah, get with
Yeah.
Title. He can tell you the running trails.
You got to dribble the ball like Title up the hill.
Oh, man. Good stuff. What do people get in? Are they getting in tonight or tomorrow?
It's all different. I think the only person coming today is Dunkel.
Dunkel? Nice.
He gets in tonight, though. The majority come. I mean, each day it's pretty spread out for the most part.
How's the weather looking? Weather looking good?
Spectacular.
Weather draw
today.
for Big T's. We're getting
65
lucky.
and sunny today. It's amazing out there.
Very good. So just to sum up this range, it's Abe Answer and Coke Rack for me. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So, with 94 watching, that's pretty good. We love our views on these shows. We got to keep them up. If we keep them up, if we keep hitting the like button, it allows us to do a lot more fun things. So we appreciate you all for that. Hoop, what is your 1 and 2 in this range?
I'm with you. It's going to be Answer and Coke Rack. I do agree, though, with Big T. Some concern with Answer. Like, we're just not seeing the results. I mean, this year, 35th, cut 40th, 43rd, 39th, 33rd. And now, at 9-3, we need something much, much better than that. We need his best performance of the season. So there is some concern, but yeah, he is my favorite here. And then Coke Rack would be too.
Yeah. Did he have the bad weather draw, though? He shot a 74 on round 3. Do you guys remember?
I don't think he did. I didn't play him, so I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think he did. I think he had the good weather. I think
he got work. Yeah, he shot a. Oh yeah, so he shot.
70.
I could have faded him.
It wouldn't have been round 3. It would have been the first 2 rounds. He shot a 68-71. So yeah,
I didn't play him, so I doubt he was on the PM, but he could have been because I could have faded him.
He got worse as the week went on too.
He hasn't looked good the whole season to me. Like not like he did last year where he was rolling for
Correct. Yep. Correct.
Yeah, I might have to just go back to Fitzpatrick since it's a tough track, but because we know he's going to be much lower owned this week after kind of sucking, missing the cut. Big T, you're 1 and 2, then take us into the 7K range.
Man, I just really don't like this range. I don't think I'm going to play any of this range. I mean, just for ranking sake, I would be with you guys. Like, I'm for sure not playing. Actually, I think I'd put Louis. If I had to pick, I think I'd put Louis in my 2 because I can't play Coke Rack at 92. I don't think I can play him with you guys. He just hasn't looked good enough to me for this price tag. So give me Answer and Louis, and I really don't think I'm going to play much of this range, though. I don't like it that much. So go down to the 8Ks. Jason Day was on the bad side, I believe, of the draw. It looked pretty good, and then he just fell apart, like crumbled like a lot of them did. Just that they couldn't hold up. Bubba played great, still finished 68th. I'm not a big fan of Bubba at that. Noren's always a guy I tend to like because he does go low at times. He gives you that upside. He's not as safe as other guys, but he does give you upside when he really gets it going. 21st last year here, 55-1 to win the tournament. I like a little Noren in this range. Varner looked good last week. I don't usually like to play Varner when he's up in this range of some of these other guys, but he's played pretty good golf. I mean, he won that big tournament over in Saudi or wherever it was with a few of the big names. That wasn't that long ago, and a great showing this week at the Players. So he's interesting. I don't know if I'll go there. Woodland, he was definitely on. Was he on the good or the bad side last week? Bad side, and it got him. But man, his course history looks terrible too. He treated me good a few weeks. I think I got to get off though. His course history looks absolutely miserable at this place. So get me off of him. Here's a guy, Keegan. I think he was on the bad side. I'm pretty sure was on the bad side because I played him and he finished 5th and looked good, man. He was rolling in putts, had the ball striking going. He's always been a ball striker. 2nd last year in the event. I think I like some Keegan at 55-1. I like him a lot, actually, the more I look at him. I'm not going to play Webb. I'm never a Webb guy. I just don't like his game that much. Tringali, never a Tringali guy either. He's made me so much money betting against him. I freaking hate that guy. Knox, not going to play him. Kiz, not going to. Kiz played good last week, too. Uncle T talked him up on the show. I made fun of Uncle T. I'll take my L. Kisner definitely played good. 4th, looked real good all week. Had a chance to win even. So great call from Uncle T on that one. As far as the range as a whole, though, another range that I'm not super in love with, which puts me again on the 2 stud build this week, because I just, like, I think Hoop said it at the beginning of the show. I look at the 7K range. I mean, even guys like my boy Harmon, Sebastian Munoz, as we get down into there, Molinari, McCarthy, Lanto, we'll go through that range next. But I don't think those guys are that much different than these 8K and 9K guys. So I'll probably be on the 2 stud build this week. As far as summing up this range, though, for me, give me, who would I say? Keegan, number 1, Noren, number 2.
Yeah, I must have been looking ahead. I think I told you to talk about the 7K range.
Oh, I did? Oh.
No, we're on the 8K range, so it's my
Oh.
fault. But yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with you on a couple of these guys. So, I mean, I'm starting
Someone
to see
said
it now,
Woodland's
too.
won here. He has? Well, his last 5 years is all I can see, and his last 5 years was absolutely horrific.
Terrible.
143rd, 88, 80, 58, 42. So it's got worse each year. So if he won it 10 years ago, I don't have the history of his entire life memorized. So I just saw the last 5 years.
Yeah, very good. Hoop, 8K range. What are you doing with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, PGA DFS is one of the few DFS sports where Big T and Hoop typically align. And this 8K range, I think Big T said literally exactly what I was going to say. Like, no Day, no Watson. Noren's a guy I do like, especially at these tougher tracks where, you can grind it out, pick up a few birdies here and there, and that's good enough. Like, Noren's the guy. The one spot I do disagree is Varner. I'm not paying the 8-6 for Varner. No Woodland. Keegan is a streaky guy, and when it gets going, it tends to last for a little while. But now we see some consistency and things heading in the right direction. Like 65th at Farmers, then 26th at Waste Management, 48th at the Genesis, and then Arnold Palmer 11th, 5th at the Players. I will be on some Keegan. You said he finished second last year at this event?
Yep.
Keegan, yeah, that makes me like him even more. Can't do Webb. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what draw he was on last week. I don't think it really matters. He sucked all around. I do like some Russell Knox at 8.1K. Just been making a lot of cuts and then kind of topped it off last week with a T6 at the Players. I'm sure he was on the easier weather job, but still 8.1K. I can definitely go back to him. And then, not being on my boy Tringali here is going to hurt. But, man, he is it's been a rough stretch for us Tringali backers. I didn't play him last week.
He's got 3 of 4 in the hundreds finishes.
Yeah. Things are not – I mean, nothing better than 72 outside of that Genesis performance on those missed cuts. Nothing better than a 72. So game is kind of in shambles. 78 and 78 at the Arnold Palmer. I like Tringali, but not right now. Maybe you can turn around at some point, but you just can't play him now. So, this range, it's probably going to be Keegan and Noren, I think, is my 2 guys here.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to our boy Bad Girl, or A Raven. I was talking to him, and he was on Keegan last week. So I know
you can't give our boy Bad Girl. I love Bad Girl as much as anyone. He was whining more than anyone about that draw.
He always does.
You can't give him credit. He was whining about the push-ups too, the push-up. Bad Girl, I know you're probably not watching right now. You've been whining way too much. You got to start drinking more, whining less.
Oh, that's a good point. Drink more, wine less.
Yeah, he wasn't.
That's the sign that I need. That's what I'm going to get. Drink more, wine less. That's
drink
a good
more,
one,
wine less.
It did start with the push-ups. I think that the push-ups literally derailed him. Just one of my favorite people of all time, but the push-ups sent him on a dark path.
Yeah, that was
tough scene for him.
Him in DC for sure. But Keegan Bradley, I mean, gosh, ball like this course, perfect type of guy that we want to target at a course where Paul Casey has won twice. A guy who, struggles putting, but it's just very elite ball striking. So Keegan, sign me up, definitely on him. Varner, I mean, I can't pay 8.6 for him. Just seems a little too high price. Bubba, I mean, I don't know, like Bubba for me, he has these like Bubba courses where it's just like he'll pop at. And I kind of see that here, has some strong finishes, a 3rd, a 4th, a 13th, a missed cut in there, but I might have him in my player pool. I don't think like he's going to be like a main team type of guy for me. And then, the other thing I'm going to track with him is ownership. If he's like going to be a popular play in this range, I would definitely move off of him because I'd rather target him if he was going to be lower owned and in tournaments. So I like your guys' call on Noren. I could hop on board there. Again, like some of these guys, I'm starting to see it feel a little overpriced. Webb Simpson not playing. Shout out to our member who was neighbors with them last week, and
that's actually very valuable information.
Yeah, said he's not practicing.
That was very solid investigative work.
Yeah, what a setup. That dude was chilling with Cam Champ then the next day too, like taking selfies and stuff. Like, God, just living the dream out there. Good stuff. Russell Knox has been playing good, but again, it feels like a mid 7K guy. Like 8-1 feels a little expensive. Same with Kisner. So Kisner, like I do like to target on tougher tracks where short game and putting is going to be important. Looked good last week, but he's a guy overlooked last week. Like a guy that should be a Players Champion. Missed that putt a few years back that would have won him the Players Championship, and then obviously got dusted in the playoff. And so I don't know. I'm torn on him. I could see myself playing him in 150. I don't think he's going to be a main team guy. As we're working through this, like I think both of you might be onto something just with this. Get like JT, get Colin Morikawa, and then I think things are going to open up in the 7K range because it just like I just think we're going to be able to make the argument that Russell Knox is not going to be better than some of these guys down here in this 7K range. So I think for me, like Keegan has to be a popular play this week. I think he's going to pop for a lot of people. It just sets up well for him. I do think he's a guy that I just want to get overweight on though. And so I'm going to go with him as my favorite play in this range. Second favorite play. It's tough. I'll say Bubba for now. We'll keep it at that, but obviously could change. Big T, you're 1 and 2 in this range.
Yeah, I do like the call about Bubba. Maybe I'll add him into my player pool. 4th and the 13th the last 2 years. He played good last week too. I mean, a really incredible round with JT that day on Saturday, which would have been round 2. I'll add him in there because I want a third guy, but I'll still go Keegan 1, Noren 2, and then I'll add Bubba into my pool.
I like that Noren. He's been playing some good golf too. I gotta make note of that. Hoop. You're 1 and 2, and then take us into that 7K range.
It's going to be Keegan 1, and then I think I agree with the Noren call. I do like Noxo as well, so those 3 for sure. 7K range, at the top, a lot of interest in Adam Hadwin. I mean, he looked phenomenal last week. He's been playing solid golf, and he has the good course history here. Always plays well. His odds look pretty solid too. So in on him at 7.9K. JSU's boy Bazudenhout, or what? How do you guys pronounce it?
Buzenhosen.
Buzenhosen, yeah. Buzenhosen. Interest in Buzenhosen for sure. I slaughter your guys' pronunciation every time. And now the problem is like I can't pronounce his name.
Bazadenhout. Bazadenhout.
That guy, I like him.
God, Chat just tore his lady apart too when I made him the workbench play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I found what I thought was just the best picture ever. I took some digging and chat figured that one out real quick. It was a tough scene.
I haven't played much Molinari, but I think I might get on him here. The price is right at 7.5K. Seems like a course that would fit him pretty well. I think Doc Redmond, somewhat interesting, played well at the Players, matched up with Rom and JT and kind of outplayed them in that threesome. So I think a little bit of interest there. Lanto at 7.4. I don't know. Things are kind of trending in the wrong direction for him. I'm sure he was on the bad weather draw, so maybe I could play him, but you guys know where I'm going here. My boy Nick Taylor, 7.3K. Just been solid outside of the miscut at the Waste Management, 33rd, 30th, 14th, 16th, 32nd, just playing phenomenal golf. Definitely be on Taylor. Svensson, I think, is a solid play, a guy that just can't make a fucking putt like ever. I mean, has to be like one of the worst putters.
I think he might actually be the worst.
He has to be that. What tournament was that? I mean, he was right at the top. It must have been, the Honda. Oh my, like it was really, really bad. He should have easily like won that event. He missed every single putt unless it was like a tap in. But I will play him. Kazire is a guy that's been playing really solid golf, 7.2K, big time birdie maker. I do like him. Mito, I'll play some Mito. I'm a sucker for Mito. I always play him when he's in the field. He was on the bad weather draw, kind of imploded. So I'll have some of him. Joel Damon played well last week. 4 straight made cuts. Have some interest there. Might be about it in this range. I mean, we've got a couple withdrawals. Munoz, unfortunately, withdrew. He's
He
another guy.
withdrew.
Yeah,
I
he
was looking forward
withdrew.
to him.
Yeah, he crapped it on. I guess yesterday.
Look at DK pricing up our boy Doc Redman. He was like 7-3 last week too.
Yeah,
like, just
they
crazy.
got him up there at 7-4.
Well.
But for the most part, though, I mean, a lot of these guys to me down here are very similar to the guys in the 8K range that we talked about. So I'm going to be down here, definitely more frequently than I'm going to be in the 8K range.
Yeah, very good. Big T, let's go over to you, 7K range. What are you doing down here?
Yeah, I'm going to live on. I play so many 7K guys every week. I don't know what it is. They all look good. Like Hoop said, they're all similar. We like to play our studs too, 1 or 2 studs at the top pretty much every week, which puts you in this 7K range. And the thing is, I just like so many of these guys. I only play like 30 people in my player pool each week. And I'd say on average, I don't know, 20 of them are in that range or in this 7K range. So once again, this week, I like a lot of guys starting at the top, Buzenhosen. He's going to win one of these events where it's an iron course and he can kind of just hit greens, 1 or 2 putt, hit a green, 1 or 2 putt, and just all weekend. He's going to win one. He hasn't yet. He's more of a like tie for 15th type guy, but he's going to break through. It could be this week. The course fits him nicely, I believe. I like my chances with him. Hadwin, I always like Hadwin. I mean, 7,900. I just like Hadwin, so I'm going to play some of him. Mackenzie Hughes, this is another course where I think it suits him. He did miss the cut 2 of the last 3, but he had a 13th, and I just think his game is nice for this course, so I'm going to play him. He's 70-1. I like him in this type of setup, so I'll play him. Streel Daddy's an interesting one because he feels priced up a little bit, which he is. I feel like he should be cheaper, but he looked good to me last week. He was even smiling around the course. He just looked like it's more of a field play, and I think that's one of the strengths at Run Pure we have. We watch the golfers. We watch the other sports. You can kind of pick up some stuff other people might not. I don't think anyone's going to play my boy Streel Daddy. He just looked good to me last week. His course history isn't even that good. It's more of a field play, kind of like Gim last week for me. Streel Daddy, a field play, but I do like that. Wise is dead to me. I'm not playing him anymore. Pissed Sebastian Munoz is out. I didn't know that until you guys told me. I wanted to play him. Harmon, terrible course history too, the last 5 years at least. I don't know, though, 7,600 for Harmon. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'll put him in the player pool. He's treated me well in the past. As we go down, Johnny Vegas always has some upside. That's what I mean. Like these guys in this range, Vegas, Molinari, Lanto, Doc Redman, even these guys are not that much worse than like Webb and Kisner and Knox and Tringali, and they're not that much worse. And you save 1,000. I mean, you just like in the matchups, I bet the 8K is only like -120, -130 over the mid 7s. So I'm good with these guys as we work down. Lanto, I have a Lanto problem. I always want to play him. Hoop's right, though. He hasn't been playing that great. The problem for me is he's still 7,400, and I just have a hard time not playing Lanto at 7,400. I kind of like Hoop likes Nick Taylor, and Lanto's my Nick Taylor. I just have a hard time not playing Lanto at this price. Interesting play down here for me is this Matthias Schwab, or however you pronounce his freaking name. Back-to-back 7th place showings at pretty tough events. I don't know. And I like him in these type of courses too. So I'm going to play him. I'm going to play Mito, even though I haven't played Mito. So this is the first time I've played him in a while. But 7,200, he's going to fit my builds. He's only 100-1 to win the tournament. Sign me up. I'll play some Mito. Kazire, I'm definitely going to play him as well. I mean, again, it's almost like outfielders in baseball when we talk about these 7Ks. So many of them look good. You got to make some cuts. Svensson, I don't think I'm going to play him here. I do like his game, but man, he just cannot putt. And he's 250 to 1, it looks like. Much higher odds than the rest of this range. I doubt I'll play him. I guess that's it for this. Scott Stallings is another guy that looked good to me last week. Eyeball test. He made some putts, battled in that tough tournament. Last 3 years here, 29th, 9th, 31st for a guy 7,100. That looked good to me last week. Definitely going to play some Stallings. Sam Ryder's been pretty good to us lately. 7K, I could play him. I don't know. There's a million guys down here, all super similar. I like a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like the winner came from this range or the 6K range with the battle that they had last week. And that's why anchoring your teams, like, you know, with a lot of guys down in this range, and then anchoring it with a JT or Colin Morikawa or Hovland seems like a really nice route to go, because I don't see Morikawa missing 2 cuts in a row, especially at like a ball striker event. And I just don't see JT or Hovland, you know, missing here. So I'm really starting to like that route. Hoosen, big, you know, I think this is going to be like, I think you said it best, Big T, like, you know, get him some irons, like irons in his hand. That's what we want. You know, this dude, like I was so tilted at the, I think it was the Honda. I mean, this guy loved to lay up. Like if there was an opportunity to lay up, he was doing it. Like par 5, not going for it. He was taking water out of play. He ended up having some bad breaks, but like, you know, I think he ended up getting us like a T20 finish. Or no, it was Arnold Palmer, T25 at the Honda. He was a workbench play at the API. So, I mean, it was an okay finish, but he scoring wise, just, you know, he wasn't getting it done for us like in Showdown. So for me, I like him in, you know, PGA Main, you know, 4-day, but in Showdown, he's a guy I'm moving off of. Like he just doesn't score. Shout out Tambo. You know, we were going back and forth about that a while back. Kevin Streelman, I like that call. I can hop on board with him. I'm going to take a stab at Molinari. So like once we realized the weather situation, I knew I was screwed. I knew, and I was trying to think of different ways to get value back. It would have been in that showdown. Everyone stacked it again. I was tilted. I was watching PGA radio. All of these guys on that were former golfers and stuff were talking. They're like, these guys are going to be able to battle through the rain today. We're going to get a lot of golf in. And because they're like, oh, this course drains really well. They have guys working at squeegeeing every single hole. Like no one talked about like, hey, if they shut things down, it's not coming back because there's a wall of storms coming. And we had limited time to really think through it because DK did not push their lock back, which they probably could have. So I locked in that first wave, but so like I just, you know, it was tilting. But Molinari, we fired a like he was 380 or 350 to 1, and I like the shot. I mean, on late round three, he was 2 back and woke up the next day, made 2 bogeys, and he was basically out of it. But I like how he played. I thought the irons looked good. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him, so I think he's a great MME play. I'm going to have Doc Redman in my pool. He's just one of those guys that just, man, when he starts to play well, I like to play him. When he's playing bad, we don't play him. That's kind of my rule with him, just because he's shown upside in the past. I had the Schwab guy starred also, Big T. So actually a buddy from high school, his name was Mitch Schwab. And so I just call this guy Mitch Schwab. So I don't really know how to pronounce that first name. But yeah, T7 2 times in a row, one at the Honda, really good finish there. And then a T7 at the Puerto Rico. I'm not like really familiar with this game, but what I'm seeing looks pretty good. Hoop, I'm on Nick Taylor with you. I think he's just a phenomenal play. Like Nick Taylor, Keegan, 2 guys that I want to play at a track like this. Nick Taylor was someone I was on at the Arnold Palmer as well. So, and then Mito Pira, another guy that I'm just going to have, you know, I'm going to have in my player pool. He's a guy that can find fairways, good approach player, doesn't do anything too flashy, makes a ton of cuts. And then, you know, a lot of these guys I'm probably cutting. Thigala, I'm not going to play here. Party Marty, I'm probably going to move off of. Kazire, not going to play. And then going down here a little bit more, Scott Stallings was the other guy that I had starred. Grillo, I'm kind of curious. I mean, I don't think either of you mentioned him. He had the bad draw, and he put like 3 or 4 in the water on 17 in that wind, and he just punted his round. It was just over then. He was like way back. He's a guy that historically would profile well at a course like this. Are either of you on him or just not at all? Big T.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't played him in forever, and I don't know. I won't
He
be on
just
him.
sucks. And yeah.
I just never play him either. Hoops right.
Yeah,
This is the one sport where we
it's-
agree on a lot of the dudes. I just don't ever play Grillo. If he beats me, he beats me.
Yeah, not a guy I play too much either. Joel Damon, I mean, he battled. He had the good draw last week, but T33, his game is looking good. He's good at finding fairways too, so I don't mind him. I gotta say, my 1 and 2 in this range, I'm gonna go Nick Taylor. Then I'm gonna go Molinari. I like him as a tournament play this week. Hoop, your 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a range that I definitely like. I'll start at the top with Hadwin. I really like Hadwin this week, and then definitely.
No. You're 1 and 2. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
You haven't breaking this down yet? Am I on?
No, I have. I'm just going to my 1 and 2. Hadwin.
Okay,
I like Hadwin, and I like. Gotta go Nick Taylor, my boy Nick Taylor for sure.
Yeah, I like Hadwin's the other guy. I got a star. Moving the show up or off the rhythm. Big T 1 and 2, and then take us down to that 6K range.
Yeah, like I said, it's a tough range for me. I'm going to play a bunch of guys, so there's not that much difference. But as of right now, I guess Buzenhosen would be my number 1. I think this course shapes him nicely. Nice form, good golfer, underpriced a little bit, in my opinion. I think he could easily be higher with some of those other guys. So he'd be number 1. Number 2, I guess, give us our boy Schwab. I like that you're on him too. I like how he's been playing lately, and he's just a pretty good golfer. I remember a few like opens ago where he was one of the odds poppers that popped up a few times. So I like him a lot. I'll give him the number 2. As we look in the 6Ks, I don't like it as much as the 7s like usual, but there is a few guys down here that you can definitely go to. Pat Perez is a guy I play a ton, especially 6,900. 4 of his last 5 events, he's done pretty well. 9th, 39th, 42nd, 33, 29th last year at this event. He's 100-1 to win the tournament. He kind of checks every box for me, the stuff I look at as a non-stats guy. So Pat Perez for me, work our way down. Zach Johnson's a guy that I've played a little bit recently. He did catch the bed. I want to look back at what happened to him because he was looking good. He must have just got swallowed in that second round and shot a real big number last week. But he's looked good to me recently. I mean, look at 3 of his last 5 events, 14, 43, 42. The wind last week, but I swear he was like 3 under going or 2 under going to that round too. So he must have like totally blown up. I'm sure the chat will know the number, or maybe one of you guys do. But either way, I like him. I mean, he's only 180-1 to win this thing. I don't know. Irons, short, like approach shots. This is the course I think Zach Johnson's good at, and he's playing well right now. So he might be one of my favorite guys, honestly. As crazy as that sounds with a dude like Zach Johnson. I like him this week. Working our way down. Grayson Sig, I've played a bunch. He struggled a little bit the last couple weeks, but I like him at 6,800. Who else really sticks out? Vaughn Taylor. I always like Vaughn Taylor at courses like this. Irons, hit greens. I just think 6th and 18th the last 2 years here for a guy 6,700. 7th in his last event here. What nice Kevin say? Perez said he was tired of moving, needs bourbon and a nap. Yeah, I mean that's what he likes when he's and he goes to the workbench. Interesting odds playing this range. Just looking at some odds, you got Troy Merritt is only 80-1 at 6,600, and he finished 8th last year. We played him like a month ago. There's no way I can remember which one of the events it was. He was one of the key dudes we talked about in the content at Run Pure, though, and he crushed for us. I think he finished 2nd or 3rd or something like a month ago. He kind of pops in this place, too, after the 8th, and he's been playing decent golf lately. So definitely Merritt for me down here. Who else? My boy Danny Lee's got some decent course history. 21st, 54th, 22nd. Hank the Tank, decent course history at 6,600. I'm going to have the same thing I always do down here. I don't really want two of these guys, especially as we get down into the lower range. I only want one per team, but I do like these guys. I don't know. Looking down, I don't know. I don't really see anything else. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't see anything else in the really low range that sticks out too much to me.
I got one that you'll either love or he'll be a
I
small
always
noodle
love
for
your
you.
cheap ones you give to me every time,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna
I
love
think
them.
you're on board with this guy, or the complete opposite. It's one or the other for sure. Very confident in that. Yeah, 6K range. I do like this range for this week. I haven't liked it in a while actually, but Hoop, what are you doing down here in the 6K range?
You're leaving us hanging with the dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you hanging. I'm not gonna give it. You gotta wait till the
It's a
end.
cliffhanger. That's how you keep
It's a
the crowd
cliffhanger. We're gonna
interested.
keep them. Yeah,
I
can't
like
give it
that.
away.
Yeah, I mean, it is it's tough. I mean, there's not many like clear cut standout guys. Grayson Sig, I think, is definitely an option at 6.8K. Been playing a lot of him lately. Vaughn Taylor was a guy I had start. I didn't know about the course history. That's good to know. 6.7K, I think, is a really good price tag for him. And these are the kind of courses that you want to play a guy like Vaughn Taylor at. Troy Merritt, I'm guessing, will be the most popular in this range because of those odds, 80-1, I believe, on the DK Sportsbook. 6.6K, had a good finish here last year, so I definitely like him. Definitely mispriced guy. JT Poston, I play a lot of JT Poston, 6'6". I think he can get it done for us here. Kramer Hickok at 6.5K. Hung in there last week, 42nd at the Players. I don't know if he's on the easy or tough draw, but 6'5", I'm good with him. My boy Peter Malnati at 6.4K. Cam's dude, this Smotherman, Austin Smotherman at 6'4". I'm going to have some of him. Starts to fall off, though. There's not many guys way down here. Oh, man, our boy Wyndham, 6.1K. Oh, he's been bad. Oh,
I've been off of him. He's been one of the guys I've made fun of.
We haven't played him like in a while.
He's been so bad.
The Genesis is where he withdrew, right?
Genesis.
On DK, they said he finished 120th. Oh man, 6.1K. Honestly, I might play a little Wyndham at 6.1, just because that's our buddy.
Is that what he is?
6.1K.
He's down there with Chesson Hadley.
Chesson
Hadley grinded out a little pay for himself.
Yes, he did. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough range. If there's a guy you like, it's not going to take much to get over the field down here because I don't see anyone being like super popular.
Yeah, so for me down in this range, I like the Zach Johnson call. I wasn't on him, but yeah, he's been trending upwards. So get a course that's a positional type course where length isn't like necessarily needed. I think that's where you want to play Zach Johnson. So sign me up. Chad Ramey is a guy I like coming off a T5 at the Puerto Rico, a guy that I think is just good at course management. If he can get the putter going, I think he's going to do well here. But when it comes to just getting, finding fairways and then his approach game, I think he's one that we want to play. I like the Pat Perez call as well. David Lipsky, a guy that I'm looking at. He's just a good cut maker. And down here in this range, I want a guy that, I mean, we need them to make the cut, but then we also need upside. I like what we saw T26 at the API with him and the Honda, 2 tough tracks. And he made the cut at both. And, T26 for a guy who's 6'8", I'll take that all the time as long as our studs are getting it done. John Huh, this is a guy who he was an alternate and got in. And I kind of like these alternates sometimes where, they get in, they weren't expecting necessarily to play, and then they get in. It just seems like they have a chip on their shoulder. We saw with Pat Rod, I think he made the cut. Or maybe missed the cut. He looked good through one of the rounds, and he had the good weather draw. So I'll laugh at myself if he did miss the cut. But I still like that position. And Jaha, not a guy like I really play ever. He's just more of an MME play. He's shown some upside. He's missed 3 cuts in the last 5 events, but he does have a 9th and 12th. So at least like he can get it done when he does make a cut. Adam Shank is a guy I like to play in these random events. He's made the cut here twice out of the last 3 times that he's played it with a TAT being his best finish. Von Taylor, a guy that I'm going to play T6 last year, but he's also coming off T7 at the Puerto Rico. Go down here a little more. Postman, JT Poston, I'm going to play him. I've just, he seems to be grinding hard and trying at each event. He's always super cheap. No one plays him. I think he's a guy that could give us upside in the right event. Nate Lashley, my guy, perfect track for him. Just a good iron player, finds fairways, and knows how to hit greens. We just need him to make some putts and limit bogeys. And if he can do that, I really like him. And just making sure no one else. So the guy I like, this guy always, I always just play him on tough tracks, and he always has to be in the 6K range. That's my 2 rules. But for some reason, he just always plays these tough courses well. He's coming off a T22 at the Puerto Rico. He's got some decent course history here, has played it a good amount, and made 3 cuts out of his last 5 trips here since 2016. The putter's on fire right now. Sung Kang, 6'8". I don't think anyone's going to play him, and I kind of like him this week. So the driver, the finding fairways has been good. His short game is good. The putter is good. So if he can figure it out on approach, I think he's going to be a guy that can surprise a lot of people. I'm going to make him my notebook play of the week this week in the 6K range. And then everyone else is just like,
What was the notebook play?
Sung Kang.
Oh, yeah. Now you get me excited.
Sung Kang. I don't know if he'd be a small noodle play or if you would hop on.
You might be taking the Viagra before this weekend.
So yeah, Sung Kang for me. And then, when it comes to 2, I'm just like this range. I'm going to have a wider pool down here, but it's more about mixing and matching. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a rule where I limit it to one golfer only. I could see that being a route I go, but I do want to look at these like double, like if you're playing JT and I don't know if you can do it. I haven't messed with any builds yet. It's still very, very early, but if you're trying to play 2 of these studs, then you're going to need 2 guys down in this range. And who knows, I might take that route this week just because I think those guys in the top range are so much, higher above everyone else this week. So Hoop, you're 1 and 2 down in the 6K range.
We'll go Troy Merritt and Mr. Von Taylor.
Yeah, very good. Von Taylor, yeah, I like him quite a bit as well. Big T, you're 1 and 2 in the 6K range.
I saw one other dude I like too while you guys were talking. This Callum dude, Callum Tarrant, or however you say his name. He treated me good a few weeks ago. I think he got 5th or something. I played him on Showdown both weekend days. He freaking crushed for me one of those events.
Who?
So Callum Tarrant or something's his name, 6,300.
63?
Yeah,
seems like a dude that Snyder would appeal to.
Yeah, I think it is. And Tambo's who got me on him on the Showdown show. So it must have been 2 weeks, or maybe it was before the Mayo shows. But 5th, 30th, 17th, the last 3 weeks, 6,300. I'll throw him in the bucket. For my 2 guys, though, who's my favorites? Zach Johnson's for sure my favorite. He was in the 6Ks, right? Yeah, 6,900. I like him a lot. And who's my second? I like Hank the Tank too. He's treated me well in the past. He struggled a little bit this year, but I don't know. I like him at 6,600. So give me him.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, always sign me up for Hank the Tank. You're 1 and 2.
Yeah, Troy Merritt. And,
I already asked. I'm out of rhythm right now.
Well, because you're not on the whiskey. You need to bring a whiskey.
Usually it's
3 p.m. whiskey.
I keep getting NBA alerts, and it's always like, you guys like that too, where your phone, you get that alert and it's constantly like looking to see what's going on. No, usually we're not even worried about that.
Yeah.
Only 4 games tonight though. Who's on the Wood show tonight?
It's me, Title, and Mangone, I believe.
Yeah, very good.
Gonna be winners tonight. I love these 4-game slates.
Oh yeah,
it's a perfect slate too. So I don't know if you looked at it yet, Tony, but it's I think you'll like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm right. I saw one other dude. I can't find him who I was looking at though. in the 6K range.
Hope, you sure you don't want to give 2 other winners in the 6K range? Just joking.
I
found my other sneaky dude. So last week I gave Gim as like a crazy sneaky pick. You guys are gonna hate this guy for sure, but he's played pretty good golf recently, and he's a former world number 1 a long time ago. Martin Keimer, though, at 6,800. He's played decent golf, and he's 6,800. I don't know. He's got 4 top 35 finishes in his last 5 events, and he just feels too cheap to me in this event. So I'm going to play some Martin Keimer this week.
I like it. I can get on board with that. That's no one's going to play.
Might have been a decent play. Who got a pen out at least? Either he was making
I'm looking up his odds right now. I want to see where he's at on the odds board.
He's got to be deep odds.
No, he's 6,800, so I'm assuming it's somewhat respectable. Yeah, 250 to 1. I mean, there's a chunk of guys that are 250 to 1 though.
I mean, he probably won't win, but I think he could have a good showing for us.
Yeah. The guys up top have to be like what's JT? He's got to be. I haven't even looked at.
They're all like between 14 and 10 to 1
up there.
The more we've talked about the field, the more I just think I'm definitely playing 2 of those studs. All
these guys just seem overpriced. I think you hit the nail on the head.
It's so much better to have 2 of those top dudes.
All right, very good. So just last few things, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We do have a promo that's still going on. I don't know when it's going to get shut off. It might just be randomly. Players 33. It's going to get you 33% off your first payment over here at Rumpier Sports. That includes the Saber Sim package. So yeah, take advantage of that while it is available. One last time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get on to our winners.
Our boy, nice Kevin in the chat said Hung Kang.
Hung Kang.
I gotta play him now. That's going to the notes. Hung Kang.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect note. All right, Hoop.
Good stuff.
Who are your winners this week? Just overall winner, and then one long shot for the people.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick someone in this top range. I think we made it pretty clear that we like the top tier guys this week. I'm going to go Alex Noren. I think he can definitely have some success on this course. I don't know, probably 50, 60 to 1. Then my long shot is going to be our boy Mito. I think he started out pretty good last week and then got hit by the weather. But I think Mito in this field has a chance to make a move. So Noren and Mito.
Yeah, I like that call quite a bit. Big T, who do you think is going to win? And then give the people a long shot.
Yeah, so just like Hoop said, I'm not going to pick one of these guys at the top. I do like these guys. I think the prices are even good too. Like you could probably get, if you check all the different books, I bet you can get close to 15 to 1 on a lot of these guys at the top. I actually think that's a pretty good value if you can pick 1 or 2 of those guys to take some stabs. But I think we could see a different winner, like AP said too, where down lower someone springs and wins this thing. I think the guys at the top will be good, top 10s and stuff. But I think we could see a winner. So I'm going to go with my boy I talked about, not my boy, JSU's boy, but Buzenhosen. I think the course fits him. He's 65 to 1 on DK right now. And I don't know. He's going to win one soon. Why not this week? He didn't play last week, right? Or did he?
No, he didn't play.
Perfect. I like that even better. He was away from the carnage. I think that's an interesting way to build a team too, because no matter what, those guys were there from Tuesday through Monday for the most part, the guys that battled. I know they only got to drive down. Everyone that's going to jump in, the course is close, but they still mentally hanging around the course, the weather. I might build a few teams where it's just dudes that didn't play last week. Just get some fresh guys out there. Buzenhosen, though, 65 to 1. Let me find a long shot. I need a long shot in here to go with him. Actually, I'll just go with my boy Schwab because I like him. 110 to 1, decent long shot, and then Keimer we said 250. But for me, give me Buzenhosen and Schwab.
Yeah, just real quick to add on to the point you're making about like price shopping with some of these guys. So like on DK, Xander is 14 to 1. I just pulled up FanDuel. Xander's 21 to 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're getting extra, 7 points there.
I like Xander on FanDuel, 21
You
to
got
20.
a price shop too with these
Yeah.
things because I mean you're just if you're betting anything significant, you're getting so much more money.
Yeah.
What do you
just think if you bet 1,000? Think if you bet $100, you're getting literally an extra $700 on your money just by price shopping.
Yeah.
Do you have that up still? I was going. Yeah. What do you see on FanDuel for Keegan Bradley? That's who I was going to pick.
Keegan,
I think he's 50 to 1 on Draftkings.
Yeah, 46 on FanDuel, so pretty similar.
Yeah, pretty good. So Keegan
He's
Bradley
going to get owned, isn't he? He's going to get too much ownership maybe in that range.
Yeah, he might. Those odds are pretty good. He's right there with I mean, not far off of Brooks Koepka. 35 to 1.
I would take him over Brooks too. Like, oh God, Snyder, slide in, buddy.
Then my long shot, I'm gonna go with. I mean, it's tough. Like, if you just look at this, like, man, the problem with some of these guys, like Sun Kang, 300 to 1. I was just like looking at that. Now you could throw a small amount of money on it. Just, he has won on the PGA Tour. So it is what it is. But man, though the pressure is going to be real for these guys down here in this range. But it's like, man, there's not a ton of dudes. So I'm going to go Francesco Molinari, 150 to 1. I just feel like the guy's starting to grind, and I saw some good stuff. It's more of like the field being bad, the course being a decent fit for him when you look at when he was in his prime, and he knows how to win. So I think if he's hanging around if he's hanging around on Sunday, I think he's a guy that could get it done on a tough track. Hoop, you got any final thoughts this week?
Yeah, just looking for the bounce back. Like the weather draw kind of bit us last week. I think it was the right move. We talked about it in the opening, so I don't want to go super deep into it, but that's the beauty of, daily fantasy sports. You bounce back the next day, the next week, whatever it is, and put the best, your best teams out there. And that's what I'm going to be doing this week. So I think we get a nice bounce back. I kind of, have stronger conviction about my route this week after, going through the show with you guys. So looking forward to this event.
Yeah, I agree with that. Big T, any final thoughts?
No, I'm excited to get it going again too. The fun part is the event ended Monday. Now we only got a 2-day layoff because I got to get that losing taste out of my mouth here this big party week, Run Pure Party Week. I'm excited to get these guys back out there. I like the event too, playing two dudes. I like where we're at after talking through it with you guys. So I'm excited. Dude in the chat said that I get the new TaylorMade driver. Absolutely. I can't wait to bomb it on Snyder's head come Monday morning.
Yeah, don't let that losing taste go too far because you have a meeting with me in the cornhole pits this weekend.
Oh, you're on my team though. Yeah, people were calling us out.
Yeah, well, we can do some one-on-one battle as well. I want revenge.
And then you guys had some battles last year, and everyone was rooting against you. Somehow.
Yeah, that's correct.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That will go down again, but I might want some one-on-one.
I kept getting hustled.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You hear that, AP? Wanted some one-on-one.
I'm saying don't let that losing taste go too far because you and I
don't get me excited.
You
got me excited.
I need some.
I just kept getting hustled. Sure. That's all I remember. I kept having knee houses come up to me, whipping out their wads of cash.
There's no one more disappointed in the whole thing than Pooh today at lunch that AP wasn't coming. He's just very disappointed.
Yeah, you guys went to bat. I mean, that was a battle.
Pooh's my guy. I'll make it out at some point. We'll get out there.
Yeah, and there we go.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
You saw that Woodford Reserve is what you saw. That got you over the hump.
Is that what he got? Did he go pick some up?
I posted the picture of all the liquor.
Woodford was in there. Yeah, very good. Yeah, Captain will come out. He'll be drinking whiskey. There'll be a few others for sure. Good bounce back week. I'm feeling very good. The content playbook will likely be out potentially later tonight. Show. We got the premium show tomorrow. Big T, do you know who is on the show this week?
I do not.
Whoever the least drunk person is at Big T's house tomorrow night is hopping out.
No, you said the golf show? I thought you were talking about basketball.
No, the golf show.
Golf's going to be the normal. Just me and Snyder crew. Switch. We're putting Snyder on there. Uncle T and Tambo for sure. Uncle T and Tambo and Snyder if he's there.
Yeah,
I believe we got some college basketball shows coming up as well too, right?
Yeah, every morning at 10, it's going to be me, our guru, Stevie Boynton with Holden. We'll try to get Dunkel on there too for some winners, but it's going to be all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, very good. A lot of content coming out, a lot of fun stuff to bet and wager on. Again, bounce back week. It's going to be a strong PGA week over here at Run Pure Sports. Get in Discord, sign up if you haven't. Use the code Players33 before it ends. Simon, get us out of here.